So I was hired to fly to the Dominican Republic and shoot a wedding, even though I've never shot a wedding in my entire life. I've never even thought about it, but it was a friend. She wanted me to go. She wanted me to be the photographer. So I figured, why not give it a try, dabble my toes in and see what all the wedding photography hype is about. And needless to say, I probably won't be dabbling my toes back in anytime soon, but it was a great experience. I got some good shots along the way, but I did run into some troubles. One of them being light. I thought it was a beach wedding, destination beach wedding. It was gonna be sunshine and rainbows, and I didn't know it got dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the Dominican Republic. So that one hit me like a ton of bricks. And then the second issue I found myself running into was having to shoot at a higher f-stop to get more subjects in focus. So I couldn't be out there shooting at the 1.4, getting that nice creamy background, because it was hard to maintain focus on both subjects, let alone the background, or 3 or 4 or 5 subjects. So I really had to, increase that f-stop so I could get everything in focus, which left the background, and just some shots didn't really come out like I wanted them to, or they didn't look real crispy. And Lightroom saved me on both of those, which I've never used these features just because they're not something that I use on a day-to-day basis for my street photography. But I was able to dabble into them, and boy, did they save me. They saved the photo shoot, they saved the wedding, they saved my ass from looking like a fool and giving her a bunch of crap photos. Hopefully these Lightroom tips maybe can save you in the future. You don't got to worry about always shooting at the lowest ISO possible, because this Lightroom feature really brings these photos to life, even if you're shooting at 12,000 ISO. So let's go ahead and jump into a few photos, check it out, show you these features. And yeah, by the way, got that street photography hoodie on, got that merch at g2shoots.com. Check it out if you're looking for a hoodie or a t-shirt or presets or something like that. I finally dropped the website, so shameless plug there. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into Lightroom, check some photos out, and see what these features do. So we're gonna be going over 3 key features that really saved my ass on this wedding shoot. One of them being denoise, one of them being lens blur, and one of them being color pointer. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into a few photos. You'll see how I use them, and you'll see the before and afters and how they really saved this photo shoot. So let's check them out. We'll start off with this shot right here. It's one of my favorite scenes, favorite shots of the night. We ended up finding this nice little gazebo that had this nice green cinematic lighting coming down, and it was just a complete vibe. So told him to get in the gazebo. We got a bunch of shots here, but as you can see, this was shot at 10,000 ISO, 50 millimeter f1.4, 1/250, and it's a throwaway. The grain is it's oversaturated with grain. The shadows are too black. There's nothing you can do with this photo, all right? If you crank up the exposure, it just gets worse. So I initially thought they were ruined, but I threw the denoise function on, and there you go. Come on. You would think this was shot at fucking 1.4, fucking 800 ISO. But if you look up here, no, 10,000 ISO. So the denoise function came in super clutch. This isn't even edited. It's basically, I just cranked the exposure up just so you can see the detail and everything that it kept and preserved. Yeah, their features might look a little soft, but all in all, what a fantastic job the denoise function does. And it really saved me. It really brought these photos to life. And pro tip, if you're shooting in very dark situations and you're scared to crank that ISO up, just do it. Shoot at the proper ISO, because my dumbass tried to shoot at a lower ISO for a few shots, thinking it'd be easier to fix in post. It was actually the opposite. Once I threw the denoise on and started to really have to crank up that exposure, it was just a nightmare. It really flattened out the features, made them almost look like clay. It basically just took it to a level that was unfixable. So expose properly and Lightroom denoise will help you out, I promise. As you can see, 10,000 ISO turned into this beautiful shot. So that's denoise. Let's go ahead and move on to this other aperture, bokeh, enhancer, background blur feature, because it saved me too. Let's go. For the second shot, we're gonna be using the lens blur effect and the point color tool, both of them, which saved my ass. So this is the original shot here. This was before I used this was after I used the denoise, but as you can tell, you can see everybody in the background. Everyone's on their phones. They're trying to record it, get their moment. But it really just kind of makes the shot blah. It's kind of blah. It doesn't look very good, doesn't look very pleasing to the eye. So I'd never used the lens blur effect until this photo, and I was quite blown away. So as you can see, this is the original. This is what happens with the lens blur effect. So it really just isolates the subjects, kind of closes off the background and makes it a more appealing and just an overall a better shot. It makes it look like it was shot at a lower aperture, which was the look I was going for. So that's the lens blur effect. You can also change the bokeh type, which I thought was pretty cool. If you come down here to the lens blur, you can select on different types of bokeh and it'll change it. I selected the ring bokeh just because I thought it looked pretty cool, but you can change it up to where it's just normal circular bokeh, maybe the hexagon, maybe the cat eye. But all in all, I thought the ring bokeh was best for this shot. And I think it came out pretty great. It doesn't look too gimmicky. It doesn't look too fake. I mean, it might not look like a true f1.4 shot, but it's tough to get those 1.4s on two subjects while they're dancing. It wasn't pulling great focus on the face. So I believe I shot this at f2.8. So yeah, it really just centered in the subjects and made it for a more compelling shot. So for the color pointer, as you can see from the original, the light from the DJ booth was really harsh. It was a really harsh RGB. It was either blue or red. So as you can see from this shot, the skin tones are just completely blue. And I was having a really hard time bringing back those skin tones until I stumbled upon the point color. So basically, you come up here to the color grade section, click on point color, click on the eyedrop, select the color or the tone you want, and then you can adjust it from there. So it was originally up here in the blues. I just brought it down here to the whites. Then I adjusted the temperature. And all in all, it did a pretty good job bringing back those skin tones. It doesn't look, yeah, it might have a little blue tint to it, but way better than the original where they look like Smurfs, right? So that's the lens blur effect and the point color, both of which saved me. And yeah, functions that I don't normally use on a day-to-day basis that I really didn't even know existed or how well they worked or how to work them until I needed to use them. So it's nice to know that even if you make some mistakes or even if you run into situations that you don't end up with the best photo, Lightroom still has some pretty good features that will allow you to bring those photos back to life. Because I'll tell you what, at one point during the night, I thought it was all a waste. I thought they were all gonna be just terrible. And it was nice. It was kind of just bringing out that creativity, that just kind of diving into it and really seeing the photo come to life. It was really nice. It just got my creativity juices flowing. So that's it for the 3 Lightroom tips, Lightroom features that I had to work with for this photo shoot. Like I said, they brought the photo shoot back to life. So if you didn't know about those functions, hopefully you learned something here. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe like and subscribe, drop a comment, cop a hoodie, cop a t-shirt, maybe my presets, you know, and let me know in the comments if you do. That being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.